So another thing that you may want to do is you will go into the Switcher Studio, and we're going to use as a switcher. And with that, we will connect to the different devices that we're going to use. But in this case, we're going into the recorded media, and we'll see that I need to actually connect the phone that is missing. So I go to the phone, which in this case is angle 1, which is from iPhone 1. And I'm going to basically go down and I have to load iPhone 1 into the system so that it's now connected and available. Now when I go into the menu and look at recorded media and go into the journal, you'll now see that there's an angle for iPhone 1. And what it'll do when you go into the journal is if that is connected and available, it will start copying that data and bringing it over to the iPad to then be used to provide a composition. So as we wait for angle 1 to finish its upload, which could take quite a while if it's a long event. For basketball games and other things, it can take well over an hour. So this is typically something you can do when you get home after you're done with the event, and then you're going to pull the data. As soon as all of the angles and all of the data is available, the composition will then go through and recompile an output based on the angles that were recorded, the journal information, the audio that was presented. All of that information is being pulled together and being compiled into the composition. When the composition is done, one of the last things that you would do is you want to get that composition off of the iPad and onto a device or somewhere else where you're going to utilize that. In my situation, I will do live recordings to Facebook, and then I will take the higher quality composition, which is typically at 1080p. My live streams I usually do are at 720p. Um, the composition's at a higher rate. So if I go in here, you'll see it's at 1920 by 1080 because that's what was recorded in this case. And then from here, what I typically do is I will click the share button from this particular screen. I'll say open in, I will go to Airdrop, and at that point I will actually copy that output of the composition to that other device. From there, you just click the share button again to make it go away. You go to journal. At this point now, I have the live recording as a backup or an alternate, and we have the assets and the composition. So now you can see we have a plus C, which means we've got all of the assets in the composition. So now that I've successfully taken that away and moved it, I don't need this anymore on the device. So I'm going to go ahead and select the items, and I will go ahead and delete those items so that I free up space for any other event that I will need to record.